no longer drive or prefer not to drive will use that system.
Interesting. Well, what about, shopping and restaurants and art museums, nightlife? Is there a nightlife in Santa Fe?
Well, as far as the nightlife, there is a nightlife. We have live music, and but it doesn't go real late like it does in some of the major cities. I think by 10 o'clock, downtown gets pretty quiet and people go home. So if you're looking for a place that goes into the wee hours of the morning, this is probably not the place. As far as shopping and restaurants, I think we have the shopping here is tremendous. It's really a shopping mecca because of all the artists and the unique merchandise you can find here. Um, you should not lack for shopping,
Oh, that's
particularly if you want to find unique things that are
mhm.
made by the artist and the local Native American culture.
Oh, yeah. Well, what types of housing can people look for in the Santa Fe area?
We have a pretty traditional mix of housing, single family homes, condos, townhomes. Um, I it is we have our architecture here is pretty uniform in terms of the Adobe architecture that we're known for. I think that's one of the things that people really like about this city is it looks different than almost any place you'll find in the U.S.
Interesting. Yeah. So, what kind of price points is it considered expensive to buy something there, or do a lot of people rent? What's the price range for different types of housing there?
Prices will range anywhere from, let's say, 150,000 for a one bedroom condo up to several millions for some of the single family properties
Hmm.
that Santa Fe is known for having some very expensive real estate, moderately priced real estate. Um, it's I'm kind of just drawing a blank now.
Well, can people? I like to recommend to people that they sometimes rent for a while to see if they really like it. So I'm assuming, other than Airbnb, there might be a rental apartment that they could live in for a while to try on the lifestyle. Is that something that's available?
Oh, sure. A lot of people do rent here for the first year or two to get to know the local real estate, and it's often a good way to go. Now, for those that really know the city, because we have a lot of visitors that have come here for years, oftentimes they'll do a short-term rental. We have a lot of short-term rentals that are furnished that they can rent for 3 or 4 months, and while they're looking for a place to purchase.
Interesting. So, what about real estate taxes if they go ahead and buy something? What does that run like?
I think real estate taxes you can count on about 1% of the value of a property. So, for example, if you bought a $400,000 property, if the county reassessed it at full value, you probably end up paying about 4,000 a year for that.
Oh, that's not so bad. Yeah. So, what about income tax? Do you all have taxes on the income? Some states don't do that.
We do have a state income tax, and the brackets are anywhere from the tax bracket is anywhere from 1.7% to 4.9%, depending upon your level of income.
Hmm.
But I've always found it very reasonable compared to other places that I've lived.
Well, that's good. Now, one more thing about getting there. What's the closest airport? How far away is that? So if somebody did want to fly in and visit, they'd have an idea of how long it takes to get from the airport to Santa Fe.
Well, a lot of people are surprised to find out that Santa Fe actually has an airport. Uh, it was only the last few years that they started using it for commercial flights, because in the years past it was used for uh, just private planes. But we do have an airport here, and I think there are three destination cities right now that those flights come from or go to, and that would be Phoenix, Denver, Dallas.
Mm,
We used to have a Los Angeles flight, but they did away with that. But they're, I think, trying to bring that back.
interesting.
The major airport, it would be Albuquerque, and a lot of people will use that and
Hmm.
drive up to Santa Fe or take the train or the shuttle.
Well, we have just a few minutes left, and to me, history of any place that I visit is fascinating, and I wanted you to just talk a few minutes about some of the places to see in Santa Fe and surrounding areas, like historic places. I know we talked a little bit about Georgia O'Keeffe, but what else is going on with the Indian reservations and that sort of thing? Any special events yearly that they have?
Oh, Debbie, there are so many. As you know from your visit here, Santa Fe is just rich in history. Santa Fe and New Mexico are rich in history. Santa Fe was actually originated on the site of old Pueblo villages, and we still have active Pueblos all over the state that you can visit certain times of the year and watch their ceremonies and their other events. I like to go, and I try to do this every year on New Year's Day. I like to go up to Taos, which is about an hour and a half from here, and visit the Taos Pueblo. They do the turtle dance every year on New Year's Day, and that's just one of my favorite to watch and enjoy.
Interesting. So they put turtles in the dance, or they dance
No.
the shelter? Let's clarify here, Hal.
Yeah, I guess we should do that. They're dancing to some kind of turtle theme. There's no turtles that take place in the dance, and it's really fascinating because you have to, when you're there, it's not at a specific time. You just know that it's going to happen sometime in the morning. They do a ceremony in one of their Pueblo structures prior to the dance, and you just have to wait until they're called to do the dance, and then they come out. And this is just the men and the boys that do the dance. They'll come out and perform the dance, and it's just a wonderful thing to see.
Well, it sounds like Santa Fe is a popular destination for retirees, but obviously you can only find that out by visiting Santa Fe in person, and it's a very special place, and people are very friendly and social. So I'd like you to share how people could contact you directly if they would like to visit Santa Fe, look at real estate, get a feel for the lay of the land, and learn firsthand from an expert in Santa Fe what's involved with moving there. So could you share your information of how they can contact you?
Sure thing. The best way to contact me is email, and that is just my first name, HAL, dot, my last name, LOG, S as in Sam, D as in David, ON, at SF Props. That's SFPROPS.com.
So that Santa Fe Properties is where your brokerage is located, and it sounds like it's right in the heart of Santa Fe.
That is correct.
That makes it good. One thing I did love was the plazas that you have there, and that is historically the central gathering place, and I loved that concept, and I think it would be fun for anyone to visit Santa Fe, and if you go to Santa Fe, you have to call Hal because he is the expert on that area. And I just want to thank you so much for joining me today, Hal. And anybody who wants to go, Hal is the one to contact. So thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you so much, Debbie.
You're welcome. Talk to you later.
Okay.